going to complete it. The harvester's almost full, so let's pull up alongside, and he is full. I just badly timed that. So I can turn that off. This is going to get this side done, so there's a tiny little bit there. And then I will set it off on a worker over there. We'll take over the baling and just run all of the windrows on this side of the map. And as the harvester gets into that block of crop, we'll be able to do the thing there. And Master Chieftain, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the follow. Hoping you had a good winter, or good Christmas, if you celebrate, and looking forward to a good new year. Why is that not working? Because I'm sitting in the tractor. Oh. Let's jump over to the harvester. Let's turn the harvester on. No, the harvester's running. Oh, the harvester's on a helper. Let's turn the helper off. There we go. So yeah, since last week we have got on, last episode, I did upgrade the Fendt harvester. We now have the big one. Not the huge one. The Agco black harvester. We have the big green Fendt. I think this is an older model of Fendt harvester rather than the Agco. But it is one that Giants did give us for Farm Sim 17 as a mod in the sort of the first week of release for their testing out the mod hub thing. And I did use it in favour of the Massey Ferguson quite frequently in Farm Sim 17. Do like this model. Someone else modded it over to 19. Obviously we haven't seen anything like this for 22, which is kind of a shame because I would like a few more choices of mid-size harvester. Helper on, off you go. Let's go find this thing. Engine on, thing on. And probably do the outside first. Alrighty, let's get straw loaded. So this will give the worker a chance to get on with the harvesting without this tractor getting in its way. The problem normally with a follow me on a baler to a harvester is that the harvester will do all sorts of shenanigans trying to turn around, and then the baler tractor just gets in its way. If you're driving the harvester, then you can plan your turns accordingly so that you're taking wide sweeping turns that the following tractor can actually follow. And call you 117. Okay, 117. Welcome to the stream. Normally a Saturday stream, but holidays we run a little bit more frequently, like when I don't have to work. I tend not to on my vacations are my vacations, but holidays are holidays. So that's an extra day to stream in the mornings. This is Oakfield Farm Farming Agency Edition for Farm Sim 19. I do own Farm Sim 22. I am playing Farm Sim 22, but for this particular series, I like to have a map that I can really get into and just make a large production of it, if you like. And our harvester has stopped. Okay. So this particular session, I mean, this is definitely a very mature farm, and I may cut through here because what the heck? Why is it over there? Seriously, dude, you messed up. But yeah, it's a decision. I tend to, when Farming Simulator comes out as a new release, there's usually a couple of things I want before I move to the new version for this series. Number one was Seasons, so we didn't start this one until Seasons was available. My new criteria for Farm Sim 22 is I also want precision farming, which isn't going to be available until I want to say early or sometime in the spring of this coming year. And then the last thing is I tend not to find a lot of inspiration from Giants maps. So I'm then looking for a mod map that I feel like I want to play in long term. So hence Oakfield Farm. It was a Farming 17 or Farm Sim 17 map, but I never played it on Farm Sim 17. So I took the fact that it was for 19 as an advantage. I'd seen other people play it on 17, and so Farm Sim 19 was when I decided, okay, it's the map I'm going to choose to play on. Typically I prefer UK maps, although I do now live in the US. It kind of reminds me of home, so in all likelihood I will definitely take a look at any of Oxygen David's maps that he brings out for Farm Sim 22, but there are a couple of others that do UK maps which I may find more inspiration in. One of the things on this map is it does have very large fields, and so sort of growth potential on a long-term series is quite significant. I mean, you look at two of the tractors we have on this field are just shy of 400 horsepower. Now, that's not necessarily typical of a UK farm, but our income supports it. Yeah, we have the work that needs to be done that supports tractors of this size. Plus the hills are just horrible. So it takes a lot of horsepower to haul this thing. I've got a 260 horsepower, 280 horsepower case, and it just can't work this baler at all. We have a good number of bales here. I haven't done a check yet. We'll do a count when we finish baling up this field. But the work is nearly finished, so yay for that. Oops. We don't need straw. Straw is a bonus income, so I'm not overly fastidious collecting everything that I can see. We'll get what we can and then move on. Partly because collecting straw's a pain in the butt. Even though I do have an auto-load trailer on the truck, which has a good capacity, so we can grab 30 bales and then take them back to the yard and sell them. Most of the baling equipment is for clover, for food for the sheep, and since we have about 800, 900 sheep, yeah, that does take a lot of our time. It's something I'm looking forward to when we migrate to Farm Sim 22. Obviously we won't have quite so many sheep, and I probably won't be doing sheep. I'll probably may do cows, I may do pigs, may do beef cattle rather than dairy, although dairy's more of a thing in the UK setting. May split it, may do a beef and dairy farm. But typically you're housing less animals in Farm Sim 22 per shed. Although that remains to be seen as to what map makers do when they embed animal yards on their maps. Like I said, this map supports up to 1,500 sheep. That's a lot of sheep and a lot of overhead. But with Farm Sim 22, your capacity is, you don't have to feed them every 36 hours, which I do here. So a lot of, even when we look at this, we're working, we've got one more field to work. 3 o'clock it's supposed to rain. At least that's what the weather report said. And then I've got nothing to do until 4, except feed a ton of sheep. So every single day I've got to go out, feed the sheep. So it's time I can't skip. In Farm Sim 22, so long as your animal feed troughs are full, you don't have to feed them every day. And in some cases you can go 3, 4, 5 months between a feed. Harvester's getting a little bit in the way here. And, ooh, might scratch the paint there. But that just means that you can skip a day and you're standing right by the sleep trigger. You can just do it all again without having to go anywhere. The only thing I'm really doing on Farm Sim 22, I'll sleep, I'll check the store sales, I'll check to see if my fields need anything, and without even moving I can then just go straight back. Okay, we'll sleep until tomorrow then. Check the store sales, see if there's any used equipment that I might be interested in, and just rinse and repeat. Okay, I am going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know. There's a patch of straw there. I don't know if we've got 4,000 litres of straw left on this field. Let's turn the engine on. Well, didn't even fill the thing up. Okay, grab that bit. And the amount of straw I'm now going to generate here is almost negligible. I have no more straw producing crops in the ground, so whatever's left in the baler is just going to be a pain. But I guess I can do a run around the field and see. I need to pull the Valtra out. Okay, let's meander my way over to the cart and we'll tip there. Okay, that's all of the stuff that I'm going to waste my time on. There we go. Okay, I will... Next job is the Valtra. Oh, there was the Valtra. Poor little tractor that has been severely underused. It's basically my spraying tractor. We spray the fields and that's pretty much it. So it's permanently fitted with narrow tyres. Okay. How are we doing? 2,000 litres. Ugh. Then everything needs to be relocated back to our triangular field over there that's ready to harvest. Oh, engine on. Beep. Yeah, I've got a nasty feeling the Challenger is a little bit too close here. Oh. Well, maybe I would be able to get away with it. That's probably really not good enough. That's probably good enough. Lower that, drop it off, back up. I can close the top now. Now, one of the things is with harvesters like this is when you unfold them, it tends to lift the front up a little, and maybe not. I do have the smallest wheels possible on the back. When I was selecting which brand of tyres to use, I picked the one that had the smallest wheels because it gives you slightly more elevation at the front, which allows you to clear a header trailer when you attach the header. Okay, you're done. I'll move you as well. And then we will... Oh, crap. Why is that bale following me? That's kind of interesting. And now we are all over the place. I think that bale won't be a problem when I get the auto-load trailer involved. So back to the class. Let's see if I can make one more bale with what's sitting around on the field. So once the bales are done, we can take this back to the yard and just drop it off. $3,200. I think we're easily going to see one more bale on this field. Probably not much more than that, though. So I'm not even going to try. He says getting barely any from that run. There you go. There's a couple of hundred there. Probably a couple of hundred on the reverse. And we are done. Turn that thing off. With the pickup. That's the unload. And fold it up. Okay. This can go back to the yard. I'll put it on a follow with the Challenger because they're all heading back there. And then we'll do a quick check, see how much spelt we got off these two fields. I thought I was going to get 2 to 3 more trailer loads. Turns out we got 1 2/3 ish. I usually mess up driving down this lane. Riding the brakes obviously helps. Oops. Okay, where is... Looks like Harry in the class. You can stop there. Thank you. And we will put this in here and turn around again. So using the grain door tip, because at full tip this will have problems with the overhang. And the grain door doesn't tip that slowly, so not a bad deal. Not as slowly as the harvester. That much is certain. Ooh, and much better. Not as good as last time. Last time I wasn't close to any walls. This time, not so much. And of course I left the class in the gateway, so I have to make room for him. So that does mean when we do our next clover cut, we're not going to end up with anything extraneous coming out the back of the baler. There's one way around that, is you can reset the baler, at least on this map. That action will empty the baler, so anything that's left in it disappears magically, just like if you cleaned it out. There is a clean out a baler mod that you can get for 19. Something like if you press Control and Delete, it will empty what's in the baler, just magically make it go away. But since the reset point on this farm is in the yard just next to the cowshed, I tend not to bother with... where am I going? That's a good question. I tend not to bother with having the empty the baler mod. That's better. And this map, the reset doesn't drop your vehicle maintenance to 0, which maps like Old Stream Farm do. So this is the reset point. So I could, if I had straw left in the baler, I could just empty it here, or I could just reset it, and it would be ready to go for the next job, and then just park it in this shed here. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and that's probably good enough. Okay, this thing needs a cultivator on it, which is in the bottom yard. Now, big cultivator, so it doesn't take long for a worker to do what we need it to do. Oops. So I'll do a bit of manual cultivating so as to protect our potatoes from the worker. And then I'll just set it off on a worker. We'll run around, we'll collect all the straw bales, we'll sell all the straw bales, and then we'll transfer the harvesting unit down to the canola field. And we'll oversee that task. Woo, yes. And herring round the yard at 26 miles an hour. Jeremy Clarkson would be proud. Struggle. So yes, this map, current plan, this map is not scheduled for release on Farm Sim 22. Oxygen David kind of said he's done with refactoring old maps for the new game. So everything we get from him for Farm Sim 22 will be a new thing. Oh, I did say I was going to slurry this field. It doesn't matter. Well, I don't know. I may bring canola back up here because that's a winter plant. So if I put canola in these two fields, then what I'm going to have to do is put slurry down on the fields before I plant to boost the nitrogen content, because nitrogen is now a little bit low. The other option is to plant a spring crop, so something like sunflowers, and put oilseed radish in the fields. But I think I'll make the decision later, but potentially there is maybe I should do canola. We haven't done we didn't do a big canola plant last year. We did more sunflowers. And it's sort of a way of getting from a spring crop to a winter crop. Struggling up this hill. So do I want to set the worker off here? I think that could be a yes. Okay, worker, you continue there. And that little patch of grass there is where I was trying to even up the edge of this field and completely failed. Gave myself a little bit more of a grass headland here because the edge of the map is sort of part way between the edge of the field and that hedgerow. I would prefer it to be at the hedgerow, but it's not. So jump out. I can run up to there. And so there's still a gap, which is a little bit annoying. Okay, you're there. You're there. You're there. I want the truck. Where's the truck? Good. So we'll grab all the straw, then I can put the truck away. We'll be done with the truck.